Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Yo, Lil Woody goes off. He expressed how he feel about Young Thug and YF and Lucci working together after so many lives was lost and so many lives went to prison for life and decades in prison behind this war that they had with this rap situation. And Woody speaks on it. And we're gonna deal with the street code of, was they supposed to work together? Is it is it an issue? Is it a disrespect that they working together? That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna analyze here. All right.
Keep it going, 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 keep it going. Mecca what? Mecca Audio. Mecca what? Mecca Audio. Mecca what? Mecca Audio. Mecca what? Mecca Audio. I like the way it's going now.
All right. You know what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, man. We're gonna speak on this joint. Black gonna ask Woody about how he feel about Young Thug and YF and Lucci, working together and hanging out in the club, partying, and Woody's gonna explain why he feel it's fake. Let's hear this. All right.
Since last time, Young Thug gets out of jail and YF and Lucci gets out of jail, and there's a video of them hanging out in the club together, being friendly with one another. Now, Young Thug, I don't know, but Lucci, I have interviewed a couple times, and me and his manager are real cool. So I remember calling him and saying, yo, man, this is great. This is great for Atlanta. This is great for both of them, for both the crews. Both of them have gone through an enormous amount of shit. They're locked up. There's fights in prison. Their friends are locked up. People have gotten killed. This is good for everybody. But some people have a problem with this. You have a problem with that.
You damn right.
Okay, explain.
Why y'all ain't do this in the beginning? Why y'all ain't do this in the beginning? Why did we have to go through so much shit for y'all niggas to feel like y'all gonna put the money first and y'all gonna come together? Y'all could have been squashed the beef. Y'all could have been came together a long time ago.
All right. The reason why they couldn't come together a long time ago because two players entered their world. One called pride and one called ego. Once the pride and ego gets to fighting amongst men, that's when it becomes deadly, and that's when you lose train of thought, train of rational thinking, and so on and so on. So the answer to Woody's question is their pride and their ego was in the way and they went to war about it, but now they've elevated past that and feel that they could work together. But Woody has an issue with it, and he has a damn good point. All right? But Woody is speaking after the fact. That's like the big fight that happened Saturday. You want to tell, who won or how he should have won on Sunday. Come on, stop it. All right, let's go. What you think about this, Woody? I feel like riding.
Y'all could have. But now y'all saying, man, this shit ain't about... Bro, you know how many people sitting in jail for the rest of their life behind this shit?
Good point. But to keep it 100, they knew what they were signing up for, Woody. They knew what they were signing up for from where they stood at that time mentally. Where we sit today with more common sense than we had yesterday, we can't judge the mistakes we made yesterday. Today, if you could understand what I'm saying. They knew what they signed up for. That's what soldiers are for. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. And that's what it is. You can't say 20 years later, 20 months later, 20 days later, I should have this and I should have that. Yo, if you signed up, you signed up. You signed up for a pound, you got the whole key. And that's what it is. All right?
You know how many families that still broken behind this shit?
Welcome to the ghetto, Woody. That's what happens in the ghetto. And that's why we try and do the right thing to get out the ghetto so we could get our children out that ghetto and give them a better life than that. So they wouldn't have to make these choices and mollify them like I'm doing now, meaning I'm justifying a wrong to make it right. But there's two sides to everything, like a yin and a yang. So that's where that's at, if you understand what I'm saying.
You damn right. I come from this environment, Vlad.
Okay.
I come from here. I didn't want to go to war with people. I didn't want to have people as enemies. I wanted to be friends with a lot of them because we was friends. See, a lot of y'all don't understand. We wasn't never always enemies. We were friends at a point. Lucci is not an enemy to me. I could go out this door right now and see Lucci and keep going about my business. I'm not here to try to tear nobody down. But at the end of the day, man, y'all so selfish that y'all showed the world how selfish y'all live.
Nah, man, they pride and ego got in the way, brother. It's not about selfishness, and it could be about selfishness because they wanted to show who had the biggest nuts, pause. And that's all that was. Like you said, they grew up friends. They wasn't enemies. But your biggest enemy is 9 times out of 10, your friend. It's someone you allowed in your circle. Let me ride. Me, myself, I don't let too many people get too close to me because I expect them to do something wrong. If I meet a female, right? If I meet a female, I expect her to mess up. You know, I don't think about how she's going to mess up, when she's going to mess up, but I expect her to mess up, so I don't put my all into her. I just get what I want to get to satisfy whatever desires I want to satisfy, and I keep it moving and keep my heart aside. But it's sad when you can't express your heart because the environment that you're in is so treacherous. That's why I don't understand how anyone would want to enter into that world because it is that real. Listen to what Woody's saying. He's making very good sense. Like I said, I'm not here to bash nobody. I mean, Woody said straight up, man, I told. You know what I mean? And then they asked him questions about Thug. He said Thug went in the interrogation room that I did too. So if I told, then Thug told. So what he's looking for is a co-defendant. He loved Thug. So either him and Thug gonna be labeled a rat, or him and Thug is gonna be labeled, you know what I mean? That they're not a rat from not telling in the interrogation room. But you can tell he still cares about the street rep, but you could also tell that he's elevated and he's grown. And that's why I said I like Woody. I like to watch his commentary because he's real entertaining and he's dropping real jewels at the same time. This man got a wake-up call from God, man. And he could clearly see now. And everybody expect him to crash out and be the old Woody. And all I keep hearing him saying, if he run across somebody that he feel that he gonna crash out with, he gonna step out and get out the room and get away from them. That's his growth. But when I say I like Woody and I say that, you know, I don't like ratting, I want y'all to understand this, man, what I'm saying. In the jungle, you have everything. We knew the old lady next to us was calling the police on us, like Biggie said in the song that y'all grew up on. But we knew that she was calling the police. We don't hate her. We stay away from her and kept our business away from her. You know? But I like her in the neighborhood. She might see my mother getting hurt. She might see a child getting hurt. You understand? But now I'm mad when she called the police on me because to me that's snitching. At that time because I'm doing dirt. But the people that live next to her that's not doing dirt, that go to work every day and got to walk past me and my foolery pushing that poison on the sidewalk, which I apologize for 1,000,000 times and will continue to apologize for. But to that person, she's a hero. And to us on the street, she's a snitch. But we don't want to kill her. We just stay away from her. And she come out the door and we say, how you doing to her? And keep her moving. But, oh, we going to go upstairs and have dinner with her? Or we going to invite her to our house? All right, then. That's the same thing with a person ratting. That's how I feel about it. I know they're right. I know how to deal with them. You got everything in the jungle. You got rats, snakes, tigers, and bears. You got everything in the jungle. You got skunks. Nobody likes a skunk. They fart on you. Or they call it piss on you. You got to take a shower and tomato juice and all this to get it off. But you don't say, I don't like a skunk. No, I don't like when a skunk piss on me. You know, I don't like when a rat. But as long as a rat not ratting, he can stay over there and do what he want to do. And that's how I feel about it. So I'm not judging nobody. If that's what they choose to do, that's on them. They got to lay their head on the pillow at the end of the night and decide what they're going to do and who they're going to be and how well they're going to sleep. And if they can sleep with themselves, alhamdulillah, that's all that matters. I sleep good with myself when, you know, I do how I feel. Let's get back to Woody. Let's ride. You ready, Woody?
I could have easily let it go and went y'all separate ways. Y'all ain't got to work together. Too much don't happen for y'all to try to work together.
No, you can't say too much doesn't happen for them to work together. From a street perspective, yeah. But get out the street perspective and stay where you at, Woody. You know what I mean? You said you don't change your life over. I mean, if you expect to be forgiven for your crimes that you have done or your sins that you have done, shouldn't the next person be able to forgive the next person? And then you got those that say, nah, I just want him dead. That's it. He don't deserve to breathe. He violated me. This is it. We'll never talk. We'll never work together. We'll never do nothing together. And if I get a chance to take him out, I'm taking him out. You know that type, Woody. Because that's where you was at. And now you've elevated past that and you're working with the youth, and I think you're doing a wonderful job. I don't have nothing against Woody. Woody said straight up, I told. Once a man said he told you know who he is, that's the end of that, man. There is no beef. No man could judge man but God. So if he's comfortable with what he did, that's all that matters. I'm comfortable with what I did. Some people say I was a fool for leaving my kids and children and woman and mother and everything behind by being true to the code. But this is something I chose. So I had to stand on that. And I'm not going to bring the next person in to take him away from his family so his family could suffer like my family. That's the lowest form of a human being to me. And you put that in whatever category you want. Imagine you chilling with your family after you did a crime with somebody, so you don't think I'm leaving that out. You done got away, you chilling. And then now they knock on your door and say your partner that you trusted your life with when you went to commit this crime turned you in, and now he's going to be the government's witness against you to get you a life in jail or 20 years. You see how real this get? But Woody, get out of there, man. Get out that headspace that they ain't supposed to work together. From where you at as a civilian, you know, y'all say in the civilian world, you forgive and you forget. Or you forgive, but you never forget. However you comfortable saying it. But you definitely have forgiveness in the civilian world, because there's nothing that no one could do could make you feel that they was that bad. You know, that you need to, unalive them.
That's why I feel some type of way. It's fake. Because me and Thug had conversation where I told Thug, like, man, look, bro, for real, bro, this shit ain't about nothing. I told this nigga this shit ain't about nothing. I told this nigga, I'm gonna go over here and talk to these niggas and squash this shit. Them niggas ain't scared over there. But they willing to sit down and squash it because everybody like, man, we Atlanta, we known for getting money. We ain't trying to go to war, but it's an all-out war. A whole lot of families hurting. A whole lot of young men don't lost their life to death, and jail. And y'all niggas in the club party? Talking about.
Yo, yeah, Woody, they in the club partying. They're celebrating that they stood tall up against the government, and they're free. From a street perspective, they're not doing nothing wrong. Matter of fact, they even get a mother effing round of applause for that. All right, relax, y'all. Relax. I say that because you can't understand what your very knees will do under the weight of the federal government trying to tell you that they're going to give you life in jail. These young men, they stood strong from the side that they chose, that many of you watching don't agree with. And if you don't agree with it, you're on the right path. You're not supposed to agree with it. So don't cross this line and say, you agree with it. And then when it happens to you and someone tell on you, you mad. And then you want to tell on the next person and don't expect them to be mad or it to be wrong. And that's how real this is. If I say it ain't worth it, don't go on that side. All right? Let's keep this moving, man. We want to ride, right? Let's go.
Because y'all went to trial and everybody flipped on y'all?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Man, come on. I don't got nothing against Lucci, and I love Thug. I love Lucci too. I don't got nothing against neither one of them brothers. But I just don't like the simple fact how they handled their situation. You remember, I did an interview before then. I was like, if Thug and Lucci come home and they squash beef, that'd be big. I said, squash the beef. I ain't say hang out.
How you know they was hanging out? They might have looked like one was walking by and they seen the other and they reached up and he gave them love and kept it moving. I didn't see the hanging out part. You know what I mean? The hanging out part, I don't agree with that. You got a point there, Woody. A damn good point. And that's the point. You wouldn't hang with him. You'll say, man, we're going to let that be. But you over there and I'm over here. But that's how the video looked, though, Woody. Like, he was walking by, he seen him over there, and he reached over and he gave him that. That's how the video looked. But what you said is 100% right. You definitely ain't supposed to hang out with him. That's like, me hanging out with a rat. Talk about I'm partying with a rat. You know what I mean? But if I see him, I'm going to say, how you doing? And keep it moving. Because I know it's a rat, and it's not in my league. It's not in it's not on my chessboard. The night done took him out a long time ago. And, that's the way that worked, that I want y'all to fully understand that Woody is right what he's saying. But Woody's straddling the fence, saying that he's for the youth. You know what I mean? And now he's mad that these two is coming together, which would help the youth. So which one is it, Woody? And I'm not saying that to put you on the spot, little bro. I'm not saying that to put you on the spot. I'm just saying it for you to go think about it with yourself. You mad that they working together and that would help the youth, and you are for the youth. You're not saying you for the youth. I believe you. You are for the youth. You're doing a very good job, as long as you continue to speak the facts. And the facts is, on the street level, they ain't supposed to be hanging out together. You know what I mean? But on the street level, they're not just going to start shooting each other. That's the crap that y'all did down there that got you into that mess. You just what we call in Jamaica, you just low them. You just leave them over there. You don't go shooting at them in the club. There was always plenty of killers and enemies in clubs. And every man know the who of them kana. And him and his homies over there, and everybody spread out. And if anything even look or smell like disrespect, it's going to be nothing but gunshots. But y'all took it to the next level and just seen each other and said, oh, they're going to ops. Oh, that's a human life. It's not an op. And this is your friend, your brother you grew up with, that one day you could possibly, forgive and work together like Young Thug and YFL Lucci's doing right now. But if you take his life, how does that process Y'all put that in the comments. Let me know if that's processed to y'all. That sounds beyond crazy to me. Let's get back to Woody, man.
You think I'm finna hang with one of these niggas and we been out here trying to, you feel me? Nah, man, that ain't how that go.
See, that ain't how I go on the street. But Woody, are you in the street or are you saving the youth? Not for you to respond to, it's for you to think about and be honest with yourself and then move forward. And no one could judge you, whatever it is.
It ain't no bad blood, but we ain't cool either.
Well, the thing that people pointed out when they were hanging out in the club together was that Lucci's mom was allegedly shot at.
Speaking about your mom, you know, there was an incident where your house was shot up, not once, but twice.
Yeah, twice.
Can you talk about the first time it happened?
The first time I was on a promo tour, I was in Temple, I think. I was in Temple. I was actually about to go right on the stage, and then they called me like the house got shot up. I went back in the club. I did my own performance because, you know, I had to do what I had to do. I did my performance, then we hit the road and went back home because I had to go check on my mama. Everything was good, though. Ain't nobody get hit or nothing.
How many shots were there?
I don't know, probably like 15.
And
You see what I'm saying? You know, that's trauma in your face. What Lucci's going through right now, that's trauma in your face. And the reason why I say that is, look how calm he's saying this. Somebody shoots at your mother. Y'all watching this, right? Y'all regular civilians. Y'all watching this. You get a call that somebody shoot at your mother and could have possibly taken her life. Alhamdulillah, praise God that she's still alive. But to talk about it and put a smile on your face, that smile is to hide the trauma of the pain. It's not a smile to say it was funny. And you know, you see a kid rock when he's young. That's how he's rocking as he's answering the question about his trauma. But that's how real this is. So that's why Woody has an excellent point. How could they work together again? But as a civilian, you'll say, okay, whatever happened, I forgive you. Only God could judge you. In any religion. But in the street code is, I'll never forgive you. I'll hunt you down like a dog until you stop breathing because you shot a mama. That's what the street side say. But the sensible side say, man, thank God mom's all right. I need to reevaluate what I've been doing to bring this type of drama to my mama. How did I get here to bring this drama to my mama? This is what we sit here and ask ourselves when things like that happen. But he was just rocking like it was nothing. He was just telling the story. But that's the trauma, and the smile and all that is what's masking what he's feeling on the inside. I've been there and I've done that.
and Young Thug made a song about it.
I never heard that song.
Yeah, there was a line. It said, I shot at his mommy, now he don't mention me.
Did he say who mom he shot at?
No.
Huh?
See, Lil Woody still being 100. Down there in Atlanta, they know who he was talking about. I don't know who he was talking about. But from what I'm hearing, they say they know who he was talking about. But Lil Woody, he being straight up now. He back in street mode. He protecting his man, you know, if he, you know, allegedly did do that.
No, he did not.
So people just take things and try to investigate and try to make it what it is. From my understanding, Thug ain't never shot nobody mama.
Right. Not Thug himself, but the story is that he sent someone to go do it or someone did it on his behalf.
But in the song, it say, I shot at his mama, he no longer mentioned me. Clearly, that never transpired, so why do people believe
Because the internet is so big, they believe it, and that's what's so crazy. I don't believe none of that crap. Because just like Woody said, it's like every time somebody says something, they grabbing that to make that fit this narrative that they wanted to fit. So, you know, Young Thug might have just been rapping about it because it was some slick shit to say at that time in his flow, what he was doing. And he said, I shoot at your mama or whatever, and, you know, now you don't whatever. It could have just been simple as that. But because of the situation with him beefing with Lucci and Lucci's mother house getting shot at, they said, oh, it was Young Thug. I don't know if it is or it isn't. I'm just giving you an example so you understand. So leave the OG out of that crap. You know, I'm just trying to wake some of y'all up to give clarity to what I see Woody doing, because I think he's doing a good job. And like I said, somebody put in the comment, oh, how can you say you like Woody? Like I said, I addressed that earlier in the video, but you know, Woody says who he is, and me and Woody not gonna be hanging out on no yacht with no girls and chilling and partying and smoking and drinking. You know what I mean? But if I see him somewhere, I definitely would talk to him because I know who he is. He told me who he is. I'd rather talk to Woody before I talk to you watching this because I don't know who you are. I'm watching Woody. I can see who he is. I know how to approach and deal with him. He could watch me and see and know how to approach and deal with me. That's what we do in the jungle. But we don't judge what we do. I did stick-ups, but I hated stick-up kids. You know, I hated people that just rob people to rob people, you know? I was into robbing you because you had the bag and I wanted that and you didn't deserve that. You know, but to rob somebody because they got a gold chain walking down the street, I wasn't into that type of robbery. You know what I mean? They got a big boom box. You know, I run up on them and, you know, throw a gun on him for the boom box. Nah, I would never do nothing like that. You know, he in the same situation as me. He took his money from wherever he worked or whatever allowance he got and bought his boom box and he deserved it. But when a dude hustling in the trenches getting money, you know, and he ain't cut like that, man, he don't deserve that. You know what I mean? But a stick-up kid never liked a stick-up kid, man. You know, let me let Woody finish this up.
So are you saying that Lucci's mom was never shot at?
I don't know. What I'm saying is the internet try to take what people say that can be incriminating and try to make it applies to things that it don't apply to. That could have been a statement made from a whole nother situation that ain't on social media. Who knows?
All right.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Mecca Audio, Mecca what? Mecca Audio, Mecca what? Mecca Audio, Mecca what? Mecca Audio.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in hall. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. Did not pay attention, would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops. Mecca Audio.
Mecca what? Mecca Audio, Mecca what? Mecca Audio, Mecca what? Mecca Audio, Mecca what? Mecca Audio. We gon' do it like we gon' do it like we keep it moving like we gotta do it like
Get it live like 2 G's in the night. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind. Spend a couple bands on the dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a raw in uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust down. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend it air. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours.